Ah, Sakura, over here. I saved you a seat by the window.
Professor, thanks for meeting me. This cafe has a lovely view of the shopping district.
Indeed. And speaking of shopping, I believe you had questions about Japan's retail landscape?
Yes, I've been noticing something interesting. Every time I go grocery shopping lately, I keep seeing these store-brand products everywhere. They seem to be taking over the shelves.
You've stumbled upon one of the most fascinating shifts in Japanese retail. We call them private brands, or PB. The market has exploded to over 1 trillion yen. That's roughly $10 billion.
1 trillion yen? That's enormous. But wait, aren't store brands supposed to be, the cheap knockoffs nobody really wants?
That's precisely the old thinking, Sakura. And it's wonderfully outdated now. Recent surveys show that nearly 90% of Japanese consumers have purchased PB products. About 40% buy them weekly.
90%? I had no idea it was that mainstream.
It gets more interesting. When asked why they choose PB products, over 70% said lower prices. But here's the twist. Around 20% mentioned quality as their reason.
So it's not just about being cheap anymore?
Exactly. The industry has evolved from low-price alternatives to what we call value proposition products. Young women in their teens and 20s are particularly enthusiastic. Over 60% actively seek out PB products.
That's my demographic. I guess I'm part of the trend without even realizing it. But Professor, with all this inflation in Japan, food prices going up constantly, is that what's driving this?
Sharp observation. In 2025 alone, over 20,000 food items saw price increases, up 65% from the previous year. When your grocery bill keeps climbing, suddenly that store brand milk looks quite appealing.
20,000 items? No wonder everyone's looking for savings.
But here's where it gets fascinating from a business perspective. Different retailers are taking completely different approaches.
Like what?
Take Aeon, Japan's largest retailer. Their top value brand dominates with nearly 67% market recognition. They recently cut prices on 60 items by up to 34%. Classic volume and value strategy.
So they're winning by being the biggest and cheapest?
That's one path. But then there's Matsukio Kokokara, the drugstore chain. They went completely opposite. They're creating premium PB products that cost more than national brands.
Wait, a store brand that's more expensive? Who would buy that?
People who value innovation. They use massive customer data, over 150 million account touchpoints, to find what they call white spaces in the market. Products nobody else makes.
So they're using data to predict what customers want before they know they want it?
Precisely. They partnered with major manufacturers to create unique products. One men's skincare line sold over 600,000 units and won magazine awards, competing directly against established beauty brands.
That's brilliant. They're not trying to be a cheap copy, they're trying to be better.
Now you're seeing the strategic diversity. There's also consolidation happening. Trial Holdings acquired Seiyu for about $38 billion. Now they're cross-selling each other's PB products across 600 stores.
So one company offers budget products, the other offers quality-focused ones, and together they cover everyone?
Exactly. Trial's products attract price-conscious shoppers, while Seiyu's Minasama no Osmitsuki brand, which means everyone's seal of approval, appeals to quality seekers. Complementary positioning.
Professor, this reminds me of something I read about American grocery stores doing similar things. Is Japan following the Western trend?
Interesting you ask. In some ways, Japan was actually behind on PB adoption, but now they're developing unique approaches. The data-driven personalization, the premium positioning. These strategies are quite sophisticated.
So, for someone thinking about entering the Japanese market, what should they understand?
3 things. First, consumers here are incredibly quality conscious. Cheap alone won't win. Second, regional differences matter enormously. Brands that dominate in Tokyo might struggle in Osaka. Third, data is king. The winners are those who understand their customers deeply.
And the PB trend will continue?
As long as inflation persists and retailers keep innovating, absolutely. We're seeing e-commerce giants like Rakuten launching their own PB lines now. The competition is intensifying.
It's fascinating how a simple concept like store brands reveals so much about consumer psychology and business strategy.
That's the beauty of economics, Sakura. Every shopping cart tells a story about society. Now, shall we order? I hear this cafe has an excellent house blend coffee, their own private brand, naturally.
Of course it is. Some more field research, Professor?
Always. You've been listening to Narrative Japan. Until next time, stay curious and keep listening for the whispers beneath Japan's economy.